Dear learners, today we are going to talk about a very important topic, that is stream of consciousness. The term stream of consciousness was coined by William James in his work Principles of Psychology, which was published in 1890. It is depiction of multitudinous thoughts and feelings passing through the mind. It is also termed as interior monologue, and that's why we also call it study in the inner psyche of man. Some passages have been taken from Virginia Woolf's essay, The Modern Novel, which clearly illustrate this concept of stream of consciousness. He says in her essay, "Look within, and life, it seems, is very far from being like this. Examine for a moment an ordinary man on an ordinary day. The mind receives a myriad impressions, trivial, fantastic, evanescent, or engraved with the sharpness of steel." In these lines, when she says, life is very far from being like this means the traditional concept of novel, and modern novel is different from the traditional concept. It is very different. Further on, she says in the essay, if a writer were a free man and not a slave, not a slave means not a slave of tradition. If he is not following the conventions of the writing or art, if he could write what he chose, not what he must. What he must means following the convention. If he could base his work upon his own feeling and not upon convention, there would be no plot, no comedy, no tragedy, no love interest or catastrophe in the accepted sense. When we say accepted sense, means the way it happens in the traditional plots, the traditional novels. So it would cease to be like that, and it will be very different. And in the end, very important statement again. She says, life is not the series of gig lamps symmetrically arranged. Life is a luminous hollow, a semi-transparent envelope surrounding us from the beginning of consciousness to the end. So it sums up all the things, all the idea that there is no symmetry in life. It is not like gig lamps which are posted after every 10 miles. There is no symmetry in life. There are many twists and turns in life. So it is very much like a luminous hollow, means it does not have a symmetrical shape. So why, then she asks that why the art which is representing life should be having symmetry. So that is where she talks about stream of consciousness or modern novel, that it should be different from the conventional. Coming to the works that where this technique is, the germs of this technique are already found. We have the earlier shadows of this technique in Tristram Shandy by Sterne. Lawrence Sterne's novel Tristram Shandy has some spark of this. There is also Dostoevsky's novels. Henry James also used this technique. Dickens, the characters of Henry James, Dostoevsky, and Dickens in their long monologues, so they also have some imprints of this novel, this technique in their novels. Coming to the one who consciously used this technique, who is the first writer to have consciously used this technique, it is no other than Dorothy Richardson, which the technique she consciously employed in her novel, The Pointed Rose, which is a series of, which comes in the series of novels under the title The Pilgrimage, having 12 works, and in all those works, the technique has been employed. Coming to the novel where the novelist has pushed this technique to its furthest, and that is the name of James Joyce. James Joyce, in his work Ulysses, he has taken this technique to its climax, and there is a passage which is of 40 pages, and in the whole interior monologue of Molly Bloom, who is the character in the novel, the three important characters are there. She is one of them. and she has a interior monologue, means she talks within her psyche, speaks her mind, and it covers 40 pages, but in all those 40 pages, there is only one punctuation mark. So this shows that how stream of consciousness technique has been used to its climax, to its uppermost limits by James Joyce in his work Ulysses. Virginia Woolf, following the footsteps of James Joyce, there have been many novelists who used this technique. Virginia Woolf used this technique in her novels To the Lighthouse, Mrs. Dalloway, etc. Then there is another significant example of William Faulkner, who used this technique in his novel The Sound and the Fury. Now, the technique, how we have got it, that is stream of consciousness. All the moments are present all the time, and the novel shifts from the idea, from one place to another, from present to past to future, and from future to past, and from past to present. So all the moments are present all the time, and its flow is like a stream, that all the moments are given importance, and the role of the writer, the novelist as mediator, which used to be there in conventional novels, that seems to have ceased, and there is no more room for that, and there is a direct connection between the thoughts which are there in the character's mind, and there is a direct connection of those thoughts with the readers. So the role of the novelist as interpreter, it has moved away. So this is what stream of consciousness technique is. Hope you have got the idea. And if you like the video, please do subscribe and share. Thank you very much.